Today on Must Play, 2 firsts in 1 day, a live podcast recording with the boys and free tacos at the turn. We're talking about Rams Hill Golf Club in Borrego Springs, California, and we're coming to you live from the house on the hill right off the 15th tee. I'm Sean Massey. With me always is TJ Van Gutten, and we have 2 guests joining us this week, one of which is making his debut on the pod and the other his triumphant return. Please welcome Kevin Surreal, who you may know as Surreal Golf, and Josh McQueen, also known as Rev Mac. Gentlemen, it's an absolute pleasure to welcome you to the pod.
Boys.
Pleasure to be.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Cheers, fellas. Cheers.
So before we dive into Rams, we're cheersing right now with our favorite glasses. This toast is brought to you by Vyce Drinkware, the official glass of golf. More about Vyce coming up in the show, but
cheers, boys.
Gentlemen, cheers.
Are we having moonshine?
Yeah, Rev, what are we drinking tonight?
This is Old Smoky salty caramel whiskey. People at Old Smoky found out we were making this trek over here. They're like, we'd like to give you some stuff to have a good time out there. So they sent us a couple bottles. This is one of them, and I recommend it highly.
It's pretty delicious.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good to sip on. Like it doesn't need on the rocks or anything like that. It's pretty sweet.
Cold.
For the record, I was just a little aggressive, and I noticed your glasses are still full and mine is empty.
Wait, can we get a quick glass check for the cameras?
Because mine is empty.
Okay, I guess it's you and me, Surreal.
It was
TJ, they can buy this on VyceDrinkware.com, right?
You can. If you are one of the 7 must-play stands that exist out there, you can pick up your own must-play Vyce Drinkware. I think they've even got all the way up to the 3-up now where you can get your own coaster and ball marker from them.
Oh, okay. Ball markers, you say?
Ball marker.
Kevin loves a good ball marker.
Do you have enough of those?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm not a... Guys, we know I'm not a ball marker guy. I'm a flag pin guy, but Kevin loves a good ball marker. He's made that very clear.
That's my go-to. I think, the ball marker.
I'm the same way. Less space.
Yeah.
It's just from a storage standpoint alone.
When you get a garage and you have your, like, the wife has the house and you have your own space, that's your office. So the flags are mine.
Yeah.
The flags?
We'll dive into that later. All right, Kev, you're up first. This is your first time on the pod. And I'd love to have a little bit more background on you for those who don't know. So where'd you grow up playing golf? And also put you on the spot, how would you describe your game today?
I've only been playing for 3 years. I didn't grow up playing golf. My parents tried to get me into it when I was younger, but I was more of a basketball guy. So 3 years ago, right around COVID, a lot of my buddies in college were playing. They were going on trips to like Palm Springs and stuff. That's when I was like, all right, I'll give golf a shot.
Yeah.
And then I just went all in, balls to the wall. Can I say that on here?
Oh, absolutely.
Literally whatever you want.
Yeah.
We unchecked the made for kids thing.
As long as you say earmuffs, you can say whatever you want. You say cock, balls.
I got bit by the golf bug hard, so like I've just been riding for the past 3 years.
Yeah.
And I just shot my personal best like 2 days ago, so my golf game is pretty good right now.
Yeah. Give yourself a little brag. What course?
Journey at Pechanga, 77, no big deal.
No big deal.
Oh, stick alert.
Not the first time.
No, but definitely the lowest I've gone ever.
That's so
saved
sick.
the ball, saved the glove.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're supposed to do that, but
Check your eBay listings here soon for a Surreal 77 signed. What glove are you playing these days?
that was a Goat Hill glove.
Oh, shout out to the mayor.
Shout out
to the mayor.
Shout out to a fellow must-play course.
AZ, I know you're listening to this, probably walking a course right now. So shout out to you.
He's just so proud right now.
Oh, yeah.
He loves that it was a Goat Hill. Probably Link Soul glove.
I know somebody that would buy that glove in a heartbeat.
Also, real quick, AZ, for those on our cam right now, we got the goat hat and the Link Soul hat right now.
Gosh.
So,
You gotta represent
on purpose.
San Diego, Oceanside, Linkville, the GOAT.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Let's do it.
All right. Rev is back on the pod. Welcome back. You're our first official return on a must-play episode. I think the fans were all, just writing in, basically saying, "When is he coming back?"
Stop! Come on, guys! Come on, guys!
My question to you is, what makes you and Kev so good as a scramble team? What you guys always seem to play together, shoot a lot of content while you're out there, but what makes you guys pair well?
Well, first of all, thank you guys for having me back.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us out to Rams Hill and this trek. It's pretty freaking awesome. We've had a great time today. Looking forward to tomorrow. What makes me no, Kevin is he's a pretty radical dude. He's super sincere, super genuine. He's the same person that you get in his videos. He's the same person that you get in real life.
Mm-hmm.
He's compatible.
Ooh, what's your sign?
Are you a Gemini, Kev?
No, he's Kevin is just a rad dude. I feel like we have the same sense of humor. I feel like our handicaps are pretty close. I think he beat me by 1 today.
Yeah.
It was his second time out here, my first time out here. Tomorrow we'll run it again, but he's just a solid dude that just gets life and loves to play golf, and he loves the game of golf for what it is.
Yeah.
And he just likes to have a good time.
Every time you guys pair up, you seem to shoot content that gets millions of views. It's pretty unstoppable. I don't know if today you got anything, but maybe tomorrow.
It's all Kevin. I'm just he's like the brain behind it. I'm just like the tool that.
You're the body.
I'm the body. I'm the big body.
The biggest tool being used.
In a good way. In a good way.
Power tool.
If we ever have a Patreon or anything where we can have people subscribe for more content, I think Rev and the Page suit might be the first piece of.
We could have a monthly Rev Page in the bodysuit monthly drop. That would be a piece of exclusive content where we.
So the Page outfit made an appearance tonight. You guys saw that firsthand.
It did make an appearance.
It could be the first piece we ever dropped.
I wasn't ready for it.
The funny thing about the Page videos, when I bought it and it showed up from Amazon, my wife was like, "What the fuck is this?" I was like, "Well, I have an idea." And I showed her the video, and she's like, "I don't get it." I was like, "Dude, it's funny. Like, I'm gonna do this.
You will."
This. And she's like, "I don't know." So when I did it, I actually went to the golf course after it was closed. I drove to the tee box, got out there, set everything up, and just stripped down. And I was like, "We got like 45 seconds to a minute to do this."
Yep.
And just got after it. And then the Page video was it did
numbies. It did pretty good.
It went crazy. She commented on it, so like the fact that she commented on it kind of like was like,
Page, not your wife.
no, yeah.
Did your wife comment on it too?
She did.
Okay, good.
It was probably something like Jesus Christ or something.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. The Page commented on it like that's all, like something like where can I get the outfit? And I was like, dude, solidified it all. Page commented on it, so throw it in the antique, throw it in the Hall of Fame.
A question for the other content creators here: if your fiance or wife finds a piece of content that you have made funny, does it tank? And if she doesn't get it, does it do numbies?
That's a good question.
Because I'll be honest, every time my fiance says, "Oh, that's funny," it almost always tanks. No offense, none taken. Love you, dear. It's like directly at the camera.
I get married in a couple.
Bold move for a guy who's less than 90 days out from his wedding.
Here comes the wedding bell.
Love you to death, dear. I will say we have talked about this where I'm like, every time you think that something is funny, it does not do well, and then every time you're like, I don't get it, it goes gangbusters.
Yeah.
So my wife is like, so to be honest, like I do have to follow like guideline when it comes to content.
But a bodysuit's not off those guidelines.
She kind of like was like, you know what, I'm gonna trust you. And then when she saw how well the video was doing that day, she's like, okay, like maybe.
He was like, I told you.
Yeah. So we're good.
I saw Paige at the grass clippings open, and she had security detail. No one else had any, and she had 2 guys following her around. And I was like, I'm glad that she probably gets those guys that are creepers, that are coming around. And so what's with the faces that you guys are making? No, I'm saying she has security because she gets those types of guys.
I know, and I'm thinking about hiring security for myself too.
Yes,
I'm available.
I was gonna hire you.
Anyways,
we as fair wagers are doing okay.
Yeah.
I'm available.
I wanted to walk up to her and talk about what just happened because you posted that like a week before.
Yeah, I did.
And I got boxed out by a security guard. So
tough.
didn't do it.
tough.
I was
Down.
probably looking too sketch. That's probably what.
You're kind of on that threshold of like,
Yeah.
you look young, but you also thread the needle of like, this guy's skeptical.
And on that bombshell, let's move into our first impressions. Okay. I've been wanting to talk about this all night. The first impressions. Let's group Rams Hill impressions into one bucket, and then let's talk at the larger Borrego Springs second. Okay. So today was my first time playing Rams. I think it was yours
First, yeah.
TJ.
Surreal's the only person I think who's been here. Yeah.
Okay. So let's start with TJ. What was your first impression pulling through the gate, and then essentially everything up until tee off?
So first and foremost, Sean came out from Phoenix last night. Me, Rev, and Surreal drove out this morning. This is in the middle of nowhere, folks. Like, this is, you think that like Rancho Mirage or Palm Desert is like out in the middle of nowhere. This is legitimately in the middle of nowhere. It is when they say the word desert oasis, this is a desert oasis. Like, to the T. We pulled in and it was like, oh, there's a golf course out here. And then you're like, oh, there's a serious golf course out here. We walked into this house. This house is incredible. I would think that every property that's out here is probably an extremely nice property. We could sleep probably 12 plus people in here.
It's too big for 4 dudes.
It's too big for the 4 of us. It feels weird. 100%. Shout out to Rams Hill for hosting us out here. They let us come out. They let us stay. Like, it's been incredible. But it's weird. It's like, we checked in and they said you guys can go out whenever. There was really no tee times after us.
Today's a Monday, too.
Today's a Monday. It's in June. The high was in the mid 90s. So not a lot of people out here. The only other people out here after us were definitely members.
And they said we could go off like an hour and a half before our tee time. That's how open it was.
Sean got here at what?
9.
And they said you can go out whenever at 9, and our tee time was at noon.
Shout out to Renee in the pro shop. Really cool guy. He felt bad that I had to wait for you guys. He was like, you could be done with 9 by now.
No, but I will say, like, the house is incredible. The course is immaculate. Like, I can imagine that during, like, whatever they consider peak season, June is definitely not peak season, but whatever they consider peak season, I would think that this place is popping a little bit. The restaurant's probably booming a little bit. The people who live out here are out here during the winter season. The quote unquote snowbirds, like you and I know as Phoenix natives, like, I would assume that during November, December, January, February, that this place is
Popping
for Borrego. But
that's all 100 people of them.
How much?
That's all 100.
How long of a drive from your house was it?
145.
Yeah, I mean, it was like from Julian, probably 40 minutes, maybe 45 from Julian.
We stopped in Julian to take a little boys' bathroom break. Yeah, but from there,
Clarification.
I can't even whistle.
What's the whistle for the other one? My kid's gonna love that clip. I'm saving that one.
But it's not too bad out of San Diego. What I will say is that upon first impression, the roads out are definitely sketch.
Yes,
I would not want to make this drive in the dark or tired or a few beers in me. Like, that definitely plays into it. Like, I know when you reached the conversation of wanting to play Rams Hill at the beginning of the year, when we talked about our goals.
Yeah, it's one of our goals.
This is one of the courses that you wanted to play.
Mm-hmm.
I said, if we play it, we've got to play it and stay the night. I don't want to leave at 5 or 4 and get out there at 6 or 7 to make the drive back while the sun is still up. I'd rather just stay the night. We got really lucky that we've been able to do this. We've been able to record the pod, and we get to play again tomorrow and then drive back while the sun is still up.
Yeah.
I got a nice 5-hour drive ahead of me tomorrow, so that'll be fun.
Going back to Phoenix.
Yeah.
It is a doable day
trip. That's what you did the first time, right?
Yeah, I did a day trip.
So what time did you leave at?
It was a weekday, but it was hour and a half drive, hour 40. No one was on the course. So I finished in like 3.5 hours playing solo.
Yeah.
Home before my fiance was off work.
So it's doable. So it's doable.
And that's like a perk kicker for your birthday round. Like that actually makes it. If you're San Diego, this course we'll get into it later, but like a day trip out here, back in time for dinner from San Diego, a free round for your birthday. And if you don't have to get back, you can redo that the replay.
If you're in the summer.
Yeah.
If your birthday's in the summer.
Exactly.
Yeah. What was your first impression today?
It was honestly, it's pretty cool. Like we pulled in and I fucking forgot to do the record of the Rams Hill sign. So we literally I was like, hey, we gotta run it back. So we pulled in and we got to the course and it was just I get a lot of like PGA West about this, like PGA West vibes.
The mountains out there.
The mountains out there. Like the initial reaction was like, holy shit, this is pretty cool. Like this is you automatically knew that it's gonna be special.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of how quiet it was and it wasn't busy.
Mm-hmm.
So like going into it, it's like, okay, the vibes are already kind of rolling because it's not packed, it's quiet, the views, the weather. I mean, it's June 2nd. And when we got there, it was like 85 degrees, but the wind was blowing, so it felt like 80, 79.
It wasn't too bad.
It wasn't too bad. I would say July, August, it's going to be tough.
Right.
Yeah. Next week it's going to be tough. I saw the forecast.
I mean, we thought we were going to get a few good days here at the beginning of June, and then we just got the wrong swing of it, right? Yeah. So it can be tough, but I would imagine this course during the right seasons,
October or November.
Yeah.
Oh my God. December. Yeah.
I bet. Today though, even though temp wasn't bad, the wind,
the back, it like
shifted as soon as you made the turn. We made the turn, the wind just like, here we go.
It was literally like a switch that flipped at the turn today, where we went and got tacos at the turn, and then we came out on 10. It was par 3, and all of a sudden, all of us were like, "Whoa, what happened?"
I will say one of the things that is really nice about out here is even though the wind turned up, when we got to the back, every hole wasn't into the wind. It was like some holes the wind was with you, some holes the wind were against you, some holes PJ's over there like, I don't know.
I hit driver really bad today, so every hole felt like it was playing into the wind.
Confirmed.
Confirmed. Yeah. I mean, but to be truthful, the wind was not in your face every hole.
Not every hole. Yeah. I will say not every hole.
I mean, I hit one 360 yards.
Me too.
Dude, that
307,
that hole was straight downwind.
I played really bad today, and I had to look at an eagle today. Yeah. Like that's
though we were playing against y'all, we both wanted you to have that.
I appreciate that from the boys.
This is a big boy course, and that eagle been.
For those who, if the mic didn't pick that up, Rev tried his hardest to whistle there, and he got nothing. He got nothing but air.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to bring us on track on the course.
Yeah.
For my Arizona brethren, the course reminded me of Whirlwind or Southern Dunes a little bit out in Phoenix. And the desert is around the course, and it's through the course to an extent, but inside the ballpark, it's got a lot of trees, it's got a lot of hills, and it makes it feel like you have a manicured experience, essentially, versus they found this course in the desert, which is like you go to Bannon or something like that. They're trying to make you feel like you stumbled on a course that's just in the elements. Whereas this felt like, oh, this is like a really, really cool resort or nice course that's being taken care of really well. But it's also just in the middle of nowhere at the same time. So I didn't feel like this was like a North Scottsdale type course where there's tons of saguaros and boulders, and it's still like kind of fairways that you can handle and stuff like that. And then the other thing too, I'll say is that the driving range, I was there at 9, so I got a lot of time on the
Our tee time was at noon. For those who we haven't said that yet.
Yeah,
Sean was there.
I had nowhere to be. I will say that the the experience out there on the range was so peaceful. And I think this is into the second thing I want to talk about for first impressions, which is Borrego Springs. For all the things I might knock on Borrego, it is quiet. It is like you hear the wind and nothing else, and it is peaceful. I had, unfortunately, a few Slack messages I had to check this morning, and I was a little stressed about work stuff. And I went out there and I hit some balls, and I immediately zenned out before you guys showed up. So
it's very close to. I know I hit the range with all three of you guys when we showed up, but it's very similar to how I felt when I played Seven Canyons in Sedona.
yeah,
Shout out Crappy Skillmore on Instagram if you don't follow him.
Follow him.
Go follow him.
Follow Crappy.
Well, hands down, one of the most genuine humans on the planet. Playing out at Seven Canyons in Sedona is an unreal experience. The stillness and the quietness that you experience out there is unlike any other, but this is a very, very close second where there's nothing else going on out here. Like if you wanted to take your phone and put your phone on silent and not listen to music or anything while you're out here, it's just going to be you and the course, and that's it.
and literally only you in the course. There was nobody on the course today.
We saw, 4 other people on the course today?
And two of those, we let them go through. Well, one was a single with his grandpa, and the other was another single.
We let three groups.
Two guys, and then we let 2 singles through. There was a guy with his grandpa, and there was just a single who was striping. That single who passed through was.
And all day we talked about how wild it was not having someone behind you.
Yes. I kept thinking, like, every time we got to a green, I would just turn around and look back at the fairway.
Yeah.
And was like, okay, where's the next group coming up? And there was like not a soul in sight, which was phenomenal.
Incredible.
Yeah.
We are so used to it as Southern California golfers where we are always playing behind the group in front of us and looking at the group behind us to making sure that we are we're maintaining a good pace of play. There is not a course that we play that we are not constantly thinking about, are we managing our pace of play great? But it was a incredible breath of fresh air out here saying, hey, if you feel like you're standing over a ball or we want to take extra time to record something on a tee box or stand over a putt or, there was a handful of times where we were playing a match. Like it was Sean and I versus Rev and Surreal today where it was like, oh no, we actually let the person who was furthest away from the hole hit first today. Like we actually played.
It wasn't ready golf. It was like, let's go out and play golf for what it is.
We had the time to do it, so we did it.
It was nice. It's pretty refreshing, actually. I found myself like trying to hurry up out there, and I would kept looking behind us, and it took me a while to like get used to the fact that we could take our time. We could enjoy the course.
100%. 100%.
So, real quick on the Borrego side of things, Kevin texted something when I said the town's empty, and he said, "What town?" I stayed here last night, and I went out, ventured myself, and I asked where should I eat tonight, and she gave me 2 options, and I looked on maps, and there was essentially 4 options I think total that were open, and I went over there. It was a bit dusty, quiet, very eerie feeling a little bit, and had some good service, but like that night I came back to the hotel and I wasn't super stoked on Borrego. Like I drove 5 hours for this. I hadn't seen Rams yet, so I'm like, what am I doing out here? I talked to my kid and he was like, I missed you, and I was like, I can't justify why I'm out here right now.
So after today,
I will say like this house has been the cherry on top for Rams. I will say, had I come out here, stayed the night, played, and then drove back tonight or something like that, even just putting aside the fact that you have to drive 5 hours after the round, I still wouldn't have been like, yeah, that was worth it. Because living in the desert myself, I have so many other courses I could have just felt the escapism and go play a course like that. If you're in San Diego, I could totally see how you might want that. But then you have Palm Springs and other stuff too that you could reach, right? So
I feel like this brings it.
It's closer than Palm by like 30 minutes, right? But as like leaning on Sean's point a little bit, being a person who grew up in Phoenix, this doesn't feel wildly different than a lot of the courses that we play in Phoenix or in the surrounding like metro area, right? Like this isn't like revolutionary in terms of how you felt out on the course today as a Phoenician.
No, same type of golf conditions and stuff as a lot of places.
As a San Diegan or a San Diegite.
Insert the Anchorman clip right now.
Yeah, we'll splice it in. This is insanely different than anything we ever play in San Diego. There's nothing like this, right? Maybe you sprinkle this in when you play like Medeiros
or Mount Woodson, maybe. But here's the deal, though. I've played a lot of courses in Palm Springs, right? And so far, like Palm Springs, Palm Desert, this is by far pretty legit.
Yeah.
I found myself today comparing this a lot to PGA West.
Yeah, 100%.
I found it like that's just what I thought. Like, okay, it's kind of a course that's out in the middle of nowhere. There's not a lot going on outside of the course and maybe some of the houses around the course. I would say that this course might be in a better condition than PGA West. It's in really great shape.
It's a lot to say. Better shape than PGA West.
Yeah.
It got dumped on yesterday. Like there was a handful of muddy areas and it got poured on yesterday. And if anyone who is familiar with geography in the desert, rain does not do well in the desert because the ground is so firm it doesn't dry well, or it doesn't absorb the water. So that's
why it floods.
Really?
Is that a segue into the history, TJ? Should we get into this?
Sean, if you want to tell us a little bit about the history, I think you're the right person to do it.
I'm so excited because this is probably Kev's first time hearing the full history of a pod.
History part's cool, brother.
Oh, I listened to it.
Do you really? Oh my god, I didn't know if you did it.
He's one of 44.
The best thing is to do it at home. Like, it's cool to do it while you're at work, but it's cool to do it like on a Friday or Saturday at home with a cocktail because it feels like you're just hanging out with the boys or the girls.
We're not going to jump into the sponsor segment now, but it is cool that people do enjoy a cocktail with us while we are enjoying a cocktail on the
Speaking
podcast.
of, I don't have a sponsor for this break, so this is brought to you by the need for me to go grab a beer.
While you're up, if you could just grab me a beer, that'd be great.
Thank you, my brothers. All right, let's dive into the history of Rams. Around 1933, that's how far back we're going to go on this pod. Let's start with trivia right off the bat. 1933, what was this the height of? No looking around.
The gold rush.
Not even close.
The Great Depression.
I think you think of 1849.
I just
The Great Depression.
The Great Depression.
Kevin said, he screwed me. He said gold rush first, and you just
You doubled down on it?
I was like, he's smart. So he said I go gold rush.
I like this guy.
That is 100 years.
1849 big gold
Clearly,
rush.
it was a Great Depression.
49ers.
49ers.
Yeah. All right, anyway.
Go on, Massey.
Around 1933, during the height of the Great Depression, two men named Alphonse Bernand and Robert DiGiorgio. You may have seen the DiGiorgio street we passed on the way. Not the pizza guy.
That's DiGiorgio.
I knew that joke was coming. I knew it was coming.
Had to.
These two guys met each other for the first time in California's Central Valley. They were both in the wine business, and the DiGiorgio family was the largest grape growers in the world at the time. TJ's boomed here. We're going to pause for TJ. Okay, so these two guys, DiGiorgio is the largest grape grower in the world at the time. They were joining forces in search of cheap land in a warmer climate because they had the bright idea. If we grow grapes in a hotter climate, we can have grapes that are ripe earlier in the season, and then we can beat the other people to market with grapes.
Oh,
Grapes or wine?
For wine.
Would you say, though, would you say that was a grape idea?
This is going to be a tough history section on this spot.
Just keep going, Massey. No, we'll cut that.
Okay, so the first crops to market would command a higher price and potentially greater profit. And in the Borrego Valley, grapes would be ready to pick several weeks ahead of other growing areas. And both men had learned of this basically this land through an acquaintance. So it turned out that through the heat, high winds, and winter, it actually made growing grapes in Borrego more difficult than they had thought. But despite some failures, Bernan had spent enough time in the valley to see its potential as a resort. He began buying up railroad inholdings in the park area and trading them with the state for valley land, as well as picking up property from tax sales and homesteaders who wanted out as he was buying land in. So he started to push people out a little bit. His holdings grew to about 17,000 acres out here in Borrego.
17,000?
Yep.
Okay, so Borrego,
Go ahead.
Borrego Springs that we've seen so far is not even a stoplight. It's a little park called Christmas Park. I'm not hating. Circle. I'm just saying, if you take in the golf course, but that was like 15 minutes in.
I will say, we went into town for dinner tonight. There was not a stop sign.
It was a loop.
There's a loop, a little roundabout.
We saw stop signs. There is not a stop light.
17,000 acres.
No, this is international dark sky community, so there's no neon or street lights or anything like that.
That reminds me, I gotta turn all the lights off it.
Yeah. Okay, so Bernan's buying up 17,000 acres. Meanwhile, DeGiorgio felt that his family could beat the elements and successfully grow grapes out here in Borrego too, so he and his dad purchased 1,200 acres of land from Bernan, and that became the first holdings for the company in the valley. Over the years, however, it turned out that Bernan was right, and the DeGiorgios only ever had one profitable year in the business from Borrego of all the years they were here. Question?
What year was it? Do you know?
This is before World War II.
Do we get question?
Yeah.
Do we know how much they paid for the 17,000 acres?
I had that stat, but I don't have it written down. But it was not much at all. It was pretty cheap.
Fail. That's fair, though.
Yeah.
Continue.
After World War II in 1945, Bernan announced plans for a resort community out here with all the land he bought up. The San Diego Union reported that he was trying to create a San Diego County rival of Palm Springs. Bernan gathered several LA investors and incorporated the Borrego Valley Land and Development Company to own the land and handle development, and thus created Borrego Springs.
Palm Springs, Borrego Springs.
Coming together now, right?
I see it all.
So the community of Borrego Springs was destined to be a special place. Bernan sought to protect the beauty of the desert through restrictions on development, somewhat of an unusual concept in planning in the 1940s. Lot sizes were designed to protect privacy. Developers were not allowed to wholesale clear land of its fragile native plants, and restrictions of what could and could not be built, and an architectural review board were put in place.
Oh.
So he was really trying to make this a place to go basically see nature and escape the city life and feel like you really were in the elements, which is still to this day, honestly does feel.
It feels like that's still the rules they uphold here.
They do, yeah. It's still very much the case. However, Bernan ran out of money and would sell his business to DeGiorgio at the end of 1954. And over the next decade, DeGiorgio would build amenities in Borrego Springs to draw people out to the desert. I see where this is going. So he built actually the Deandra Country Club in 1955. That was an immediate success. And now he set the stage for an additional valley project, which included Rams Hill Golf Club, which began construction on the 3,000 plus acre resort in 1982. It was to be a semi-private club and was designed by Ted Robinson to be a 27-hole layout. TJ, would you tell us more about that?
My guy, Ted Robinson, RBI, Summerfield. We've literally just talked about it. This guy is all over it, up and down the West Coast. He does it all.
Ted Robinson?
Yeah. He's the RBI designer. If you ever pummel the ball into the foliage in RBI, which is a resort course, that's supposed to be easy.
I play a lot of tournaments out there, scrambles. Yeah, it's fun.
Is that a humble brag that I felt from you?
It's a boastful brag.
I like that.
Being honest here.
TJ, so for the level select episodes, TJ does his own research, okay? And he dropped the Ted Robinson designed Rancho Bernardo. He renovated Rancho Bernardo. He did not actually design Rancho Bernardo.
How do you find this shit further than I do? I hate that I do level select and I think I find nuggets, and then you fucking body bag me like this.
Can you please stop holding the mic? Is he done?
Sorry, Surreal, that you have to be on my side of the camera with this.
He's yelling.
I'm gonna give you help here though. someone who did design it originally is someone I always quiz you about. The same guy we always talk about.
It's the same guy.
Go ahead, Tev, go ahead.
Tom Fazio.
No, it's the same
No, I'm not
person.
talking about Lams. I'm not talking about Rams.
Oh.
I'm talking
No,
about
it's the same
Pedro
person.
Bernardo.
It's the same person who does Tori.
Huh?
It's the same guy who did Tori, who's the
Correct.
son of the other guy.
Correct.
But I can't.
Yes.
Yes, Bell.
It's the bells.
It's Bell.
He does listen. Hell yeah.
He's a big listener, and it shows. You
I
get
love that.
Long time listener, first time caller.
was still the same drink.
All right, so ouch.
Surreal, let's put it down.
It's been an hour.
It tastes like maple syrup, but with,
You're welcome.
but with grain alcohol.
Wait till you go to sleep.
Well, Smokey, we love you though.
Yes,
happens
we
then.
do. Ooh.
Okay, so Robinson did the design. That layout was loved, but DiGiorgio unfortunately passed away in 1991, and the club eventually changed hands multiple times until in 2007, Tom Fazio was brought in to redesign the course as part of a $65 million renovation by new ownership. It even renamed to Montesoro Golf and Social Club, but that only lasted until 2010, when real estate values faced an economic downturn and the course was forced to shut down. Rams Hill was placed in exodus mode with little hope of a future, and for more than 3 years, the course lay dormant and actually turned brown. They let the
Really?
grass all die.
So nope, the course was closed. Nobody played it.
Gates closed, no one played. 3 years is down, turned to brown. Nature took back over, and then, and then that was essentially the state it was in until Bill Berkeley, a Rancho Santa Fe real estate investor, purchased the property and the 3,000 acres in 2013 for only $842,000.
Damn.
Yeah, he bought lands and everything out here for 840. We were talking about lots in this community. Think
So
about buying the entire thing for 842.
What year?
That was in 2013.
We were way a lot. Suggestions.
That was in 2014.
2013, there was a real estate bust, and essentially no one was out here in Borrego, and then he bought it.
You could have owned Rams Hill.
I could have not bought my house and bought this place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you live like in Mexico pretty much.
Close.
So it went brown. 3 years went by. This guy buys it. The irrigation system had to be completely updated. Sprinkler heads have been sold. Even they're like the whole thing had to be redone.
Not the sprinkler heads.
The bunkers and the greens were restored with new sand and seed. Dining options were added. The same superintendent from before got brought back. He said, "Hey, you come back, get this course back in working order." Essentially, he didn't hire someone new. So the guy was still around and said, "Yes, I'll be back," and he redoes the course. That included recovering from the loss of 350 trees while teasing out golf playable turf from the dry ground. And they actually put in new grass type here because they realized that the salt essentially was killing grass before, and it was becoming too hard to maintain. So they put in new grass.
I'm going to very quickly interject here. I think you and I need to have a greenskeeper on the pod. I think the greenskeepers, like we talk about course architects all the time, right? We talked about the bells. We talk about course architects all the time. We talk about cities. We talk about mayors, all this stuff. We talk very little about greenskeepers, and I think they are the unspoken heroes of golf courses.
Oh yeah, the unsung hero.
And I think there's a world in which you and I need to bring a few greenskeepers on. I would think that there's more than a handful of people we know at golf courses just at the point that we can bring on, whether it's the guys from grass clippings. We could probably talk to whoever's over at GOAT. Like
I was just gonna say, yeah.
we could probably talk to AZ. We could probably talk to John, and John could bring us in with whoever's over the greenskeeper.
We should.
I think any greenskeeper would be cool because you're just getting an entire different perspective.
Oh, for sure.
And
Yeah.
it's someone that no one ever talks to, really, but they're so important when it comes to like
They are the 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
There's so much like science and agriculture,
Nutrients. He said science, so I had to drop nutrients. I feel like
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It was the way that you brought it to the table.
Yeah.
It's good, right?
All right.
Sorry,
Let me wrap up.
Yeah.
Okay, so today Rams Hill has expansive fairways, elaborate bunkering. The contrast is provided by tall, wavy native grass, and it's endured years of abandonment simply by going dormant. So the course actually got the native grass to come back when they built it back up. And now it's won all kinds of accolades. This is actually named the third best resort course in California, according to Golf Week, behind two courses you may have seen. Can you name the other two courses? TJ already knows. I told him.
Public courses.
I talked to Sean earlier about this. Hold on.
Two other public.
California?
Yeah, there's two resort courses in
Oh, you
California.
didn't say that earlier? But that makes sense. That makes more sense now that you said in California.
You threw in resort, so that's
Mhm.
off the table.
It's
Is
not
Pelican
above
a
this
public
one.
resort?
Wait, what?
Is Pelican a public resort? Okay.
It's not Pelican.
According to Golf Week, this is number 3. There's two other, and I'll give you a hint. They're next to each other.
Oh.
Is
One and two.
one of them
Are they Southern California or Northern?
Northern.
Oh,
You know these two courses.
Spyglass?
That's one.
Bingo. Bingo.
And Pebble Beach. Pebble and Spyglass are
I
one and two.
always forget Pebble's public because it's
It's like $800 to get on, but it's public. But it's public. You don't have to have a membership. Yeah.
Unless.
just for the record, guys. It was the Cartners that got that right.
We let you have that. I knew that.
We got it right, man. A win is a win.
Nutrients.
Dominic Toretto. Nutrients. Nutrients.
All right, so the 3.5 acre solar farm on the side of the old 17th hole actually provides enough energy to save Rams Hill $400,000 annually in electricity costs.
Wait a second. They
Mhm.
had solar back in 1833.
No. Confirmed they did not.
So how did they have? Oh, wait a minute. Sorry.
Cut that.
Thanks.
Me and my bad.
All the irrigation water is supplied by 6 on-site wells, and the clubhouse was refurbished and expanded to 18,000 square feet, and ownership has plans to actually expand the community around the course even further. There's talks of a hotel being built out here.
Honestly, okay. There's nothing out here, but if they started putting up like casinos, in and out.
He wants In and Out so bad.
You could have just led with fluorescent light. You could have led with fluorescent light.
I will be honest. If we said, "Hey, there's a casino that we get to go play after we record this pod tonight," that could have changed a lot of people's tunes.
But we have a sim in the garage.
Instead, we have to go live on the sim, youtube.com/@fairways.
That's right.
But I totally agree. Like, if you come out here like me, I want to take my wife and my son, but it's like they have to have something too.
100%.
I'm like, let's go to the desert and I'm gonna play golf. You guys hang at the house. She's like, cool. What do we do for dinner? I'm like, I don't know. There's nothing. You got to offer something to the non-golfers. So a Wiener Schnitzel, an In-N-Out.
Casino, In and Out, Wiener Schnitzel. Now we're in business.
We haven't gotten to the test yet, but if you want to pass,
Yeah.
Would a Top Golf do good out here?
No, absolutely not. No one
Yeah,
would be here.
no.
No.
you know how much money it takes to run a Top Golf?
A lot.
Did they have Top Golfs in 1833?
Okay, guys. That was a legitimate question. I forgot that we had fast forwarded through time, so let's just move on.
We're going to end the history right there,
I'm
actually.
I'm just gonna go to
I
bed.
have one more paragraph to close out, but we don't care about that anymore. So,
Just gonna go to bed.
no. Actually, I have an important job for you.
Yes.
Let's get into the pros and cons.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let me see.
Please start us off.
Pros.
Yes.
I got 6 of them.
Okay, go.
The grass is super green in June.
Yep.
The wind works in and around your favor. The people in the pro shop were extremely nice.
Yes, confirmed.
I didn't feel forced anytime on the course. The tacos that we had twice.
Talk about the tacos real quick.
Yeah, we should lean into that one a little bit.
Can I lean or should I
No,
No,
dive in. This is the time.
Okay. As you guys all may know, I am a big guy of food. Big guy, and I love food.
Go off.
The tacos, you had 2 options. You had
Hold on. Go ahead. Yes.
you had pork and you had chicken. You're given the option of one of each or both. The first time we visited, I got one of each. But the second time we came around, I was dialed on the pork. And you got to go with all the dressings and the sauce on the side. Definitely a strong pro because Melissa, I remember you. She was great. That was her name. What is that? My pro number 5.
That was
5. You need one more.
Hang on, I had it dialed up. Oh, the pace of play. It felt like we were.
You said no one was on us all day, right?
It felt like if you go somewhere and you rent out the golf course to play by yourself, that you have the entire golf course. That's what it felt like. You weren't rushed. The weirdest thing about the pace of play was I kept looking over my shoulder, like I said, to see if anybody was coming. It's like you were even like, dude, there's nobody back there.
Yes.
They keep doing the same thing.
It's like as Southern California golfers, I say it all the time on the podcast, where we are just so ingrained to 4.5, 5-hour rounds, and like you'll play a 5-hour round, and somebody will be in front of you the whole time, and somebody will be on your ass the whole time.
Yeah.
And that's just what we are used to. So it was very weird being out here. I think we still played a 4.5-hour round today.
We did not.
No, confirmed.
We did not. We drove our golf cart to the back court.
We let a bunch of like citizens.
We let people play through. We stopped at the Ram Shack twice. We stopped at the turn, and we stopped between 14 and 15.
We drove the golf cart to our house.
Oh
Yeah, and we stopped here at the house.
yeah.
Literally.
And we kept no one
Insert-
behind. Like no
Insert
one
the
behind
video.
us.
This might be cut from the pod. I'm just gonna say this, but we literally drove the golf cart to the back of the house. Like, if the people at Rams tell us to cut this, we're gonna cut this. But if this stays in, we were able to drive our golf cart to
That's
the
part
back.
of the selling the house.
Yeah.
Like
That's
you
a
want to
good
be here.
That's a
because
good
you
house.
guys-
It's a great selling point for the house on the hill was that we were able to drive our carts to the back of the house, grab a few refreshments, grab an Uncrustable. Top sponsorship that we are looking for at Fair Wagers is an Uncrustable sponsorship.
Yeah.
But Old Smoky, thank you.
But Old Smoky, Vyce, we love you. Uncrustable is still at the top though. Like
peanut butter and jelly, man. I don't
I
know what to tell you.
love a frozen peanut butter and jelly. It was very nice to be able to just take. It was the pace of play was
All
It was
those things
so
we did,
nice.
and nobody was waiting on us because there
Not
was
a soul.
nobody behind us. That was the best part. Real quick, I will just say, and one of the things you added with the grass is green.
what a pro. The grass was green.
No. Like you come out here and the contrast pops against the brown desert. You're like, whoa, this is almost irresponsible how much it feels like they're watering this place.
And you can tell it's real because my cleats, you made a comment
Yeah.
before we started. You're like, hey, man, did you get new cleats? I was like, no, I washed them. When we finished, they were still the same. So they're not dyed fairways. They're not dyed fairways. They're real science, nutrients.
I will say if I pop in on a con side there, because it is so dry out here somewhat, the greens are fast and firm.
And the wind too. I agree.
Because they were consistent all the way through.
Why don't you kick us off with other pros?
Let's hear some pros from Mr. Surreal.
Those are some of the highest quality greens that will probably get to play on being one of the top courses in the country.
Top 3.
Yeah.
Top 3 resort courses. I looked at Golf Magazine. It had it ranked as the 93 best course that you can play in America.
How many courses?
Oh my god.
Oh,
Wait, when did this turn into a $25,000 pyramid?
Pyramid scheme.
Shut the hell up. So
Let me go
can
to
you
bed.
him?
mic? Yeah. So no, just like that way. Yeah.
You want me to keep it that way? Okay. We'll cut that.
I just want to hear his other pros.
Yeah, keep going on your pros though.
Pros up. Pro V's on the range.
That's true. That's true.
No one spoke on that.
What if you're a legato guy?
Sorry.
Just saying.
No, this stays in. This stays in.
this has to make it, right? I will die on my cross if that doesn't make it in the
No, legatos are fine. Legato, if you can get on the range, get on the fucking range. Like, please.
But yeah, the practice
You're
area
welcome, Legato.
are a pro. We didn't get to experience the short game,
Tomorrow.
mythical short game area, but we'll go check.
Yeah, where is that? It's on the other side of the
It's
range.
direct. Remember when you guys were like, see that guy back there? He's hitting into us? That's all short game.
Oh, okay.
And the mayor told me it is just as phenomenal as the course itself.
The mayor of Goat Hill. You're speaking about Andrew Zanzig, the not self-proclaimed, the Sean Massey proclaimed mayor of Goat Hill. Andrew
I'm
Zanzig.
hoping the moniker stuck.
I'm trying to get it. He saved it in my phone as
The mayor.
the mayor.
I still call him the mayor every time I see him. So he's there.
We were out there 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and I got to ride with him. And it's like an honor, but also every other hole, whenever he's like, "Oh, I gotta go say hi." I'm just like every hole. He's out there politicking.
Yes, he-
He got his little shimmy up to it. He's like, "Yeah."
He really loves.
Shaking babies, kissing hands.
I love AZ.
He's like the most
the
genuine
coolest guy.
person that I've ever met in my life. Big old Z.
Your pro of Pro V's on the range, the full range altogether is spectacular. I will say, like from grass to hit off of. There's definitely spots to chip on. I'm sure we will hop over to the other side where there's actual short range, but there was a side flag that we could chip to today, and the putting green was
Serviceable.
serviceable and very well laid out to where it prepared us for what we were going to deal with today.
Yeah.
Matched the greens on the course.
It did.
Which
And
doesn't
it-
happen often.
And it had the undulation. Felt like you're going to have
it
to
did.
figure out downhill.
I putted 3 times a lot on the practice green, and I putted 3 times a lot on the golf course today. And that's all I can ask for, is that it prepared me for what I was expecting to see.
I think we have to say also free golf on your birthday as a pro.
100%.
How much of a pro is that? I mean, like that might be the first time a lot of people come out here.
And the replay.
Is it free replays?
In the summers, I believe.
In the summers. On your birthday too, right? Free replays on your birthday.
Don't quote the man. We'll put it in the comments of the video if it is a free replay on your birthday. It's definitely free. Your round is free on your birthday. 100%. We know that. That was your first trip, right, Surreal? You came out on your birthday. You played as a solo, didn't you?
Finished in like 3 hours. Yeah.
Wow.
What did you do that fast?
I do that so much.
But that's another kicker, though. That is another kicker, though. This could be a con. Is unless your buddy in your foursome has the same birthday as you, either they got to shell out $270, or you guys can split the
Split
green
it.
fee.
If your friends are good, like anytime you come out and you play Tory as a resident, I split the
Yeah, we split it.
That's nice.
Yeah. That's what friends do, you know?
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
I like.
He houses me, his wife makes me cookies, and he splits the Tory
The
fee.
cookie.
Future wife. Future
Excuse
wife.
me.
Fiance.
Fiance. Future.
Ashley, I loved your cookies.
You guys brought up. You guys were talking about cookies. You didn't get to experience that pro as well.
There's supposed to be a cookie.
At
here.
the end of the round, they do like a caramel apple cookie. We may get it tomorrow.
Wish you can win tomorrow.
We have to. That is. a big
Should we? If we get a cookie, should we splice in a live cookie review into the pod?
Yeah,
That'd
we
be
can
cool.
totally do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
But
this
we're not
might,
gonna-
this might be the cut to the cookie. Food wise, I also got to try the breakfast because I got there so damn early. And I will say, I had a full breakfast. I was going to get the breakfast burrito, but I knew I was going to have tacos later today.
There's
And
no
I
sides with the
can't
breakfast
have
burrito.
Mexican dinner tonight, so thank God I didn't get the burrito. That would have been pretty rough on the stomach. So
Okay.
I got a full breakfast, just traditional, and they waited on me because I was the only one in the restaurant. And I felt like I was at like a legit White Lotus type resort where like I was being almost like a problem for them. Like I'm sorry that I'm like
You
asking
had
for
3
things.
people taking care of you.
Yeah, but then I realized they're
You like ask for ketchup and you feel like it's like weird that you ask for ketchup for your breakfast.
like there the whole time. Like they had nothing else to do, so they waited on me hand and foot and like had some good conversations. And then I chatted with the guys in the pro shop. Like everyone was extremely nice. We talked about it earlier, but like staff has to be one of the pros. Like
100%.
people out here were really, really cool about it.
I will say it might be like one of the most equal split pros and cons of a golf course that you will see, that like it is a humongous pro if you come in the off season, because you are going to have the staff and the course to yourself. The con is that it's going to be 90 plus degrees.
Let's get into the cons. I want to hear.
Can I
some
just say
cons.
something real quick?
Yeah.
It is a bummer when you go to places that are resorts or whatever in their peak season and you go there and they're not attentive. This place does a really good job of making sure that they're giving good service even when it's non-busy.
Yeah.
Because I've been to, Cabo, Cancun, like wherever, you go to these resorts and it's non-peak and you get service on the wayside because they're like, oh, whatever, it's not.
Yeah.
Them still did a good job of treating you like.
Yeah. They're not trying to get you to come back. So
Exactly.
Okay. It's off on the cons.
I can hit you with cons. Number one, if you suck at golf, this course is hard. I had some.
You gotta give yourself some credit though.
I don't necessarily suck at golf, but out of the group of the 4 of us, I am the worst. That is without a doubt. If you struggle to get off the tee,
You
You are
That's
the only
true.
one that had an eagle look today.
we talk about this on the pod all the time, and when we get to the high handicapper test, it depends upon what makes you a high handicapper, right?
Yes.
Right.
And today it was struggling off the tee.
Today was getting off the tee, and if you have trouble getting off the tee, this is desert target golf.
And you got some big boy shots ahead of
But
you from
that also falls on you because you told me that you realized it, but you chose to keep hitting driver when you know you shouldn't have.
On like the 16th hole, yeah.
Right.
He tried the 5 iron.
The 5, I couldn't get it. I couldn't get anything to go straight today. Everything felt rushed. Everything was a yank left, like today. But like from like 150 and in, everything felt great today. But I will say that like I don't know if you have even if you're okay off the tee, if you're a person who struggles around the green, greens are fast. There's a lot of undulation. Like I had some good wedge shots today that I felt were good wedge shots. And then once I got up to the ball, I was like, I'm not in as good of a position as I thought I was. Right? Like, or I hit a decent amount of bunker shots today and got out of the bunkers in 1, which as a 24 handicap doesn't happen all the time. And then I was still left with really dicey putts coming in from that. And all you guys would be like, oh, good out. Like everybody, good out, TJ. Well done. And then I walk in this putt, I'm like, this still might be a 3 putt from where I'm standing.
yeah. There's some tough.
Yeah.
This is a really difficult golf course. Some might say it's only for the big boys. And it's a lot. And there's no way around it. Like there's no way of getting around it. There's a handful of force carries where if you want to play an iron off the tee, you can play an iron off the tee, but you might be playing into the wind. You can hit a 5 off the tee, but then you're still going to be faced with like 190 in. Yeah. So what do you do, right? Like, do you force driver? And I mean,
I think you would rather take the 190 in versus hitting 3 from the tee.
in hindsight, sure, right? I think yeah, but
Do you think without the wind?
I still think it's hard without the wind.
Well, okay, let me ask you. I'm going to give you a this or that, okay? Is Rams easier or tougher than crossings?
That's a great comparison.
So,
That's a phenomenal question.
This is one of the things that I really, really liked about Rams Hill today is it's got a if you're good with driver, if you can find the fairway, which my driver was probably one of the strongest things in my bag today.
It was.
Subtle plug. I'm just saying.
No, you can
If
shot
you're,
that. It
if
would.
you're finding the fairway, a lot of those par fours you can go drive just because the way the wind is set up on some of the holes. You're going driver with a short wedge in or like a short iron in, and it's gettable. But if you're not, like TJ was saying, it is really tough. But the course definitely it forces you to play stuff you wouldn't normally play just because it looks different.
So your answer to my question: crossings or Rams, which is harder overall?
The Ram.
Rams is harder?
No, I think crossings. There's a lot of holes. You're off the mark, off the tee box. You're fine.
It feels tighter at crossing.
Here, wind aside, like you can find your ball and punch it out. Occasionally. One thing I will say though is any course is going to be hard if you don't hit it well off the tee box.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I guess it's just hard because like I hit every fairway.
No. What I was gonna say is that you and I both hit 2 incredible desert shots.
Oh my god!
You hit
So,
one and I hit
Jones,
one.
before, for the record, I had TJ's back, and I looked at Sean because you were damn near in the cul-de-sac on the opposite side of the desert.
I was by a house.
And
You were in someone's backyard.
I was in someone's
I looked
backyard.
Sean in the eyes, and I said, "This is going to be spectacular." And what did TJ do? He gets up there and he rips
Spectacular
his shot. I lose it in the sun, and I look at Kevin, and Kevin's like doing this,
On
like
the
he's
green.
trying to dodge it, like running away from the green, and the ball drops and checks like 8 or 9 feet from the cup. And I'm like, holy smokes!
Yeah, that did happen.
And then you hit one. You had an incredible up and down from
You
the
know-
desert today.
Do you know what
Yeah.
you did right before that shot? Chucked the club.
We're gonna cut that from the pot. But
I did. In that ball that I hit, I saw it literally go into the wind and just freeze.
dude, it's the wind out here is so strong that it can make an insane difference for the help where you can hit a really bad ball and it can stand it up for you. Or there's that downhill par 4 that I had the eagle look on and I hit
Yeah, it was a par 5.
par 5. I hit driver thinned 7-iron and had an eagle look at. And that's how the cookie crumbles. Realistically, is if the wind blows with you or against you.
Bruce
Yeah.
Almighty over here.
Great movie.
I know.
Sidetrack.
That 7, I was standing behind him and it disappeared out of view. And I was like, okay, he'll be like right in front of the green and won't be too bad. And then we get up there, I'm like, who's that by the pin?
So I saw it running the whole time, like because we were down
Yeah.
on the bottom of the hill, and I saw it come off thin. But the way it hit, like, so the cool thing about Rams is you can hit certain areas, and that ball's either going to skip and take off and
Funnel a
roll.
little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it hit like perfectly on a downslope, and it caught a kick, and it just wrapped up around the green. It went up toward the bunker,
Yeah.
and the way it was set down, I was like, oh my god, this may get within like 5
Yeah.
feet, and it'd be like 12 feet for eagle.
I could walk. This is a very thin line on a pro or a con. Is I could walk out tomorrow and hit all the same clubs that I hit today, and my round could be
Wildly different.
wildly.
Yeah. Yeah, it really could. Same club choice, but better execution.
That's
would
what I
make
mean.
this-
Like I could, like realistically, if we wrote it down today, I probably shot like a 110 or a 115, right? But I could hit those same exact clubs throughout the entire round tomorrow and shoot like.
And I think, TJ, that's why I think you're kind of doing yourself not a favor here by admitting that Rams could be a lot easier than crossings. Because
I agree.
yeah, because if you do have the shots right now, then Rams is a little bit more forgiving. Crossings has some punishing holes where you like think you hit a great shot and then you didn't.
If you let's just say you know your lesson now, and say we go out tomorrow morning and your first 3 holes your driver's not working. You just put your driver away. If you play that the rest of the round, whatever club you choose, not your driver, I think you shave 8 to 9 strokes automatically.
In theory, yes. Did I hit my 5-iron that much better today?
He said his 5-iron wasn't working too.
In theory, yes. In practice, no, I did not hit my 5-iron any better than I hit my driver today.
Bring back the
But-
4 hybrid.
But what I will say is that like getting on the green and the 3 putts are still probably going to be 3 putts, regardless of all the shots that I get in. There was more than enough times today where I respected the fuck out of a putt and hit it short because I was really worried that putt was going to degreen.
Yeah,
This course does get in your head a little bit.
100%.
It does.
That's what I mean. Like when we talk about cons, that's a huge one.
Yeah, speaking of the pro con line, I love courses I've said on this pod that make me think, right? But I don't like courses that make me think this is going to be near impossible. Like where I'm like, why hit this shot? This feels dumb almost. And there was only one hole today that made me feel like that. Can you guess which hole?
Hang on.
I'm trying to think of what I know exactly what hole it is.
There's one hole today where I was like, this feels like no matter what I do, I'm probably not going to be
Was
in
it
good
hole
shape.
number 2? Because I thought about the putt that I had on hole number 2, where I was on the green and I had to hit it over that ridge. And I remember you had a chip, you were off the green, and you had a chip, and I was like, I either come up way short of this putt or I'm off the green on this putt.
Yeah.
It was 18.
The bunker on 18.
Dude, the landing area is so narrow on
Yeah.
18, and then you got the water right, and then the whole bends around the water right.
All
and
the way.
all the way, and it's like you're not going to get there in 2 like the other par 5s were. So
Yeah.
you're going to have to lay up again. And sure, I could have played that hole much better than I did, but the whole time I was on the tee box in 18, I was like, I feel like no matter what I do here, this is going to be a stupid shot. Like I'm either going to have a 3-wood just to lay up, or I'm going to have to like try and thread the
Was
needle
that
here.
the hardest hole in the course?
I don't know, but with the
I
wind,
think all of us-
whipping today, it was.
That was the hardest hole, in my opinion, for all of us.
Today was wild because of the wind. Like I remember we played 16 and it was the 16th hardest hole on the course. And I think that was 12, maybe 13. It was the 16th hardest or the 16th easiest hole in the course. It was a 16 handicap. But we played it into the wind, and I remember thinking, this is a short par 4, but it might be the hardest hole in the course right
It
now.
means it's the 3rd easiest hole in the course, by the way, if it's a 16.
I'm looking up.
Okay.
18.
Okay, I have 2 other cons, by the way. So location, it's a little rough. Yeah, location's got to be a con. Go ahead.
18 is the
Wilson.
second hardest hole on the course.
That makes sense.
a lot of sense. What's one? Because like I said, I put it on the green and I thought about de-greening on a putt.
My other con is the rates were as high as $222 tomorrow in the middle of the summer in June. Now, think about how many people we saw out there today. $222 you would still charge to get people to go out?
We saw 4 other golfers today.
Yeah, I checked the rates tonight. So, like, I don't know. That just seems like even courses out by me in Scottsdale are charging way too much money. They're not charging $222 right now for
if they
that.
offered it for 120 or 100, there'd be more people out here?
I think so. Yeah. Like if you're scouting out, like, oh, I want to get out there, and you see it's 222, and you check the weather, and it's going to be 100 degrees.
I wouldn't come out here.
No,
Yeah.
we
100? Maybe.
we know in Arizona, like when the triple digits start, the rates got to adjust.
Yeah.
Like right, you got to figure that out.
In Arizona, for Arizona golf, I have a hard time seeing triple-digit temperatures and paying triple-digit prices.
That's a good rule of thumb. I like that. Yeah. Fortunately, that's
Yeah.
the case. You know, we talked about grass clippings a lot on this. They have a monopoly on the market right now with night golf.
Really?
And when it gets hot, there's literally nowhere else you can go. It's either Top Golf or grass clippings.
Give me grass clipping. Never
So-
even been.
Dude, in the day, they charge 20 something bucks. At night right now, they still want $130.
Oh my!
Imagine offering 20, 130 the same day in your rate because everyone knows that's the only time you want to go.
So it's 120 like grass clippings at a time.
Right now, it is.
Take my money because
You know,
You know what I'm doing right now, Rob?
balls.
Yeah, I got you by the balls. Like,
All right, we're hour 12 in here, so we're gonna jump to the actual must play test. Yeah,
it's about
time to do it.
what do we got to talk about, though?
I will. Let me jump in first. Oh, you're talking about Vyce?
We got to talk about Vyce.
Of course, we're gonna talk about Vyce.
We got to fill up though. Everyone needs to fill.
Before we get into the must play test, we're gonna hear more again about our sponsor for today's episode, Vyce. But before we cut to that,
A little old Smoky.
little old Smoky. I hope if you're watching at home like Rev does, sipping something, enjoying this.
It's my Friday night when Kim and Lincoln go to bed.
You feel like you're hanging with us? Please leave us a comment. We'd love to actually.
Oh yeah, that's
have you-
perfect for me, baby.
So the salty caramel is gone. We're moving on to the blue flame.
Woo!
Blue flame.
Blue flame.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Boys. Shout out to Vyce. Phil, we love you. Here's to you, Phil.
On to the must play test.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit more about today's sponsor, Vyce Drinkware. Vyce was created with a simple goal to recount and celebrate the memories we make with each other on the golf course. Because let's be honest, our favorite rounds of golf all finish at the 19th hole, where we recount the shots throughout the day with a well-crafted drink, your favorite cigar, and probably a few more gambling games at the table. And the 19th hole Vyce kit is going to have you covered. It's got everything you love from golf, spirits, cigars, gambling that you're going to need to get that after round party started. So they offer custom glassware. It's also going to include a coaster, ball markers, lighters, and dice for a little bit of gambling. Sean, I know we just got some custom must play ones sent over to us. What are your initial thoughts? I think you've got it there with you, yeah?
Yeah, the packaging was amazing. For anyone watching, he has this really cool rocks glass cover that comes out with the glass in the center, and it just elevated the experience before I even took a sip. I just felt like I was excited to put something nice in here. When you get a glass and you're like, this doesn't deserve this. It deserves the good stuff. And so that's what I had on our first one, and it has our logo right there on the front, and it just looks amazing.
Yeah, the custom etching that came through on the glasses is perfect. The ones that we have currently are the 1 under. That's just going to be just the glass. And then they go all the way up to 5 under, where as you step up through each individual kits, they add another thing into the package. So if you want the full experience with all the stuff that we talked about before, that's going to be the 5 under. And we really think it's a great gift for either your next buddy's trip, a golf outing, if you're looking to provide a special gift, or if you're running like a corporate event and you want to put your company's logo on there and give them out in swag bags. They're going to be great. They can do all that custom etching for you. So if you want to get your own custom glasses built or order one of our own, you're going to head over to vycedrinkware.com. That's going to be VYCE drinkware.com. Or for everyone else who wants to look at the must play ones, we're going to include a link down here in the description. Head over there and keep the good times rolling.
Let's get into the must play test. TJ and I have devised an objective test here of 10 questions to determine if a course is a must play. The course must score a 6 out of 10 to be up for debate, or get a 7 out of 10 or higher to automatically earn our coveted must play status. Now, today, since we have 4 guests, we're doing something here for the first time. Two guests, 4 people, excuse me. TJ and I have each chosen 5 questions that we're going to be the tiebreaker on. And if we split down the middle, whoever is the designated tiebreaker for that question gets to decide if it passes or fails.
What if we have the same tiebreaker answer?
No, if 2 people go one way, 2 the other way.
Oh, I thought we were doing jump.
No. So, question 1, the Augusta test. I am the tiebreaker for this. Is this course easy to get a tee time on? Does it have a straightforward booking process? And are there times available the week of your intended play?
Can I lead this off?
We're going to let guys lead this off because we don't want to tip our caps on who the tiebreaker is
Thank
between
you.
Connor.
So I was invited and I didn't have to do anything. I just had to drive. So I don't think I can answer this honestly. So,
all right. I mean, based off of even what Sean said today, they said we could go out whenever we wanted. Yeah. So it's pretty easy to get a tee time. I booked tee times separate from this trip, and there's a lot.
I checked tonight, and there's times tomorrow. Anytime you want to go out.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. I like that.
We have a tee time at 10 a.m. tomorrow, but we could go out at 8:30, 8:45, 9, all the way up until our.
Do we think December, November, when we were talking about like it's going to be beautiful out here, is that still just as easy? You think?
I think it's going to change.
My birthday's in December, so that's when I came, and if you book far enough in advance, it's pretty easy. Yeah. But even when I came out here, it was the same experience. There was not a lot of people on the course.
Okay.
On a weekday.
Good to know. Good to know, though. Good to know, though.
I'm a pass. I think everyone's a pass here.
I think it's a pass. I think it's far enough off the beaten path where it doesn't matter. If you want to play, you can play whenever you want to play. Yeah, I think it's a pass.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're 1 for 1. Question 2, the bang for your buck test. TJ here is the tiebreaker. Is this golf course worth the rate you pay? Do you feel like this course is a good value during peak season? So let's say November, December. Do you remember what you? Oh, it was free. It was your birthday.
Free. It was free. I mean, that does that play into it though?
No, I feel like you got to play.
Hold on though. It's a free round.
You're the tiebreaker, so you decide what you want to
It's a
do.
free round no matter what.
Where else offers free golf on your birthday?
JC used to, but
I
not
mean,
a shout out
right now-
JC. They cut that. They
Okay,
cut that.
for our listeners who want to play a day other than the 1 day a year that's free, is this a bang for your buck?
We have to let the guests go because I'm the tiebreaker on this. I can't say anything.
When you think about all of the awards and like accolades the course has, it's a top 100. I think it's one of those that you have to play at least once. And anywhere else, Pebble, you're paying what, 600, 800? Any top 100 course, you're gonna have to pay a little bit. So worth it at least.
I'm gonna follow it, and this is gonna get into another segment that we have when it comes to like merch and pro shop.
Mm-hmm.
But a course is worth it if I'm buying a pin flag from there, a flag pin.
You still don't know, do you?
I'm just gonna roll. You gotta know what I'm talking about. If I buy a pin flag from your course, that means it's worthy of whatever price you're offering. So,
Okay.
in my opinion, it's
Did you buy one today?
100%.
You should go get it and show.
Hold on, we haven't gotten to the Jonesy. We haven't gotten to the Jonesy test yet.
Okay, true. Okay, I am gonna say fail, and I'm gonna make this kind of interesting here when it gets to TJ. Only reason I'm saying fail is I'm speaking from someone coming from Arizona who gets desert golf like this where I live, and 222 right now in June. I think honestly that gets you on every course. TPC Scottsdale, True North, Boulders, any of those courses, and those are all minutes from town. Everywhere else you can be in Phoenix. Out here, it's like, okay, I'm going to go all the way out there. I wouldn't like to see a price that starts with a 2 in it in June. And so for me, it's a fail for that reason, because even just driving out here, I was like, that's a steep price, if I'm being honest, especially when you start turning in Borrego and you're like, there's nothing out here.
But from the time you got here yesterday till the time right now,
Yeah.
would you pay $220 to experience this?
No. Oh, you mean the house?
Not
The house?
everyone's recording a podcast out here with the boys. Okay.
You mean like that?
whole scenario.
Oh yeah, of course, of course.
Did you hear him at first? He's like,
No, I thought you meant like just the course again.
Massey, can I tie a bow on this real quick? So what I'm gonna say, native Arizonan, this course is not anything phenomenally special as a native Arizonan, but you drove 5 hours to get here.
I did.
So you made a special trip to come out here and fail this golf course.
Not fail this course.
Sorry.
It's going through the whole must play test. Thank you very much.
Fail the bang for the buck. As a San Diegan, 3-4 years running, this is vastly different than anything that we experience in San Diego. And for what I looked at for 8:30 tomorrow morning, that is less than $200, which is a lot of golf courses in San Diego right now. We are still in a somewhat peak season. You might play somewhere inland that has no coastal views. That is an okay golf course. That is
How much would you pay for Torrey right now if you could get on Torrey?
That's different.
So with our resident rate or non-resident rate, are we talking about?
Resident.
Torrey,
Well, he said San Diego.
Oh,
Torrey as a resident is always under $100 for us.
right, and that's
Yeah.
a whole different argument. That's a
So,
whole different
so I
argument.
text you, hey, what are you doing this weekend or next weekend? And I go, I have a Torrey tee time versus I have a Rams Hill tee time. Which one are you excited about?
Hold on, though. That pulls into the Augusta test because that pulls in if we can find a tee time this weekend.
What if he already has it though?
Yeah, let's say I have it. Which one are you more?
He's like,
which
I
one are you
have
more
one.
likely to take?
Don't ask me if I want to play here or Torrey. That's a dumb question.
Because it's Torrey.
That's
I
a
take
dumb
Rams.
question.
I'm gonna take Rams because I could play Torrey whenever I want. The opportunity to come up to Rams.
You
isn't
can
that
play
hard.
Torrey whenever you want, though. You have to find a tee time at Torrey or advanced book.
So you can. You just have to pay for it. But that's Torrey, not here.
What's your vote on this question, tiebreaker?
I passed this course.
Okay.
I passed this course because it is under $200. It is around the same price point as what I expect in Arizona, and it is just as good of a course, if not better, than what I expect from those similar Arizona desert target golf courses.
Okay. So we are officially 1 for 2. That's the first. Oh, no, excuse me. 2 for 2.
You just confused me.
No, we're 2 for 2. Yeah.
We're
Sorry.
2 for 2. Can we get a tab sheet over here, big brother?
It's fine.
You need
It's,
to keep score?
it's all one.
Okay, we got it.
It's all.
I got it right here, locked in. Sorry, Sean.
Oh, you want me to keep it for you? Okay. 2 for 2. Question 3, the Iverson test.
Talking about practice?
I know you want
We
to know.
talking about
He wanted it so bad.
I love
wanted
it
it so
bad.
bad.
That was like when I first discovered y'all,
Yeah.
and you guys queued that up. I was like, these motherfuckers get it.
This guy knows.
Yeah.
So TJ's obviously the tiebreaker here. Does this course have good enough practice facilities? Would you spend time warming up or just head for the bar before the round?
Oh,
I'm
Kevin, go ahead. Big fella.
If I would come here 3 hours, or I would come here 4
Like I
hours
did today.
early, like Sean did today, just to get to use the practice. At any public course or meeting that you play, you're not going to get these conditions, the quality. It's a pass for me.
100%. I mean, even though we got
Yeah.
here at 9.
Mhm.
I don't know what the range is like when you were out there,
Empty.
but when we got there was full bays open, Pro V1s fully loaded. The range was not all like lined up,
Mhm.
and we didn't even really go to the trucking area. But from the range and the putting green,
Is there like a better feeling of for the range at least when you walk up and you see the pyramid of balls with the balls in the bucket and you realize that you don't gotta go pay for a bucket. It's
Yeah.
just there.
it's special.
It's so special. And then you're not on mats, you're on grass, and you're like, okay, this is gonna be fun. Like I can-
Because it makes the guys that don't belong to a club feel like they belong to
just a
something
little
special.
taste of what it might
It's
be
like-
like.
It
Yeah.
makes you feel
When I think about this test, like the holy trinity, it's not 3, but the holy trinity of this test is 3 balls, grass range, chipping area, and putting green. Like those are the 4 that I think about that like make this test a full exceed.
The
on
holy
this.
square.
Yeah.
Holy square, the holy rhombus. and this one hits it all, right? Like there's only a handful of courses that really fully hit that. We usually say if they hit 3 out of 4, they usually still get a pass. But this one hit on all 4 for me.
Yeah.
I'm a pass as well.
It's a unanimous pass, I think, across the
All right, so we're solidly 3 for 3.
3 for 3.
board.
Big stuff.
I think that might be the first course that's ever hit 3 for 3 right out the gate.
From what I have recalled,
Mm,
let me check my
I
data.
want to say Goat passed 3 for 3 on this one.
The mayor strikes again.
Did practice.
You might. I think you're right, actually.
Question 4, the Jonesy test. Could you see yourself? TJ's tiebreaker on this one again, by the way. Could you see yourself spending $100 in merch in their pro shop? Do they have a logo or apparel worth wearing?
Yes.
Please, the merch. You started with the flag pin / pin flag.
So I'm kind of biased because I am not a when I buy one thing and one thing only.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm
Flag
not
pins.
flag pin. Unfortunately, they're range from either I think today I went with the silk screen or the embroidered. I don't know what the price difference was, but it was 45. I don't really ever buy a hat because I have fucking a million hats. I don't buy polos because
We've
I
all
don't
seen
need
your
to-
garage.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't. I buy like your stuff, so I'm not going to go in there and buy like a bunch of stuff. So I think it'd be unfair. If I was a shirt guy, I do like the Rams Hill logo, and
Mhm.
especially if you're an LA Rams fan and you're a golfer. I do like the logo. I think it's a cool logo, but as a person personally, I couldn't spend $100 unless the flag pin was $100.
For those who want to see the logo,
Yeah,
Right
better
there.
to flash it. Surreal.
I wouldn't spend $100 anywhere. So this
that's fair.
But when we were walking through the pro shop earlier, you heard me say like, "Oh, that shirt's sick. I would buy that."
Yeah.
I usually go for the ball markers.
Ooh.
And I did buy one last time I was here. So
So
if we can
ball
take
marker
away the
plus shirt.
$100 cap,
Kevin pointed something out though as we were walking out. Sorry to interrupt. They do their own,
like stamping.
yeah, in the pro shop. They had everything out there. So if you buy a ball marker and you want to get it,
They would put at RevMac on the back of the ball marker for you.
I should get that
Yeah.
tomorrow and maybe do a giveaway.
So that
Does that
are
swing
you
your
passing
vote?
or failing, by the way?
I would pass it if we can remove the $100 like minimum.
Can't remove that from this question.
Yeah. Let's say you're coming in town from Canada, okay,
Mhm.
and you love a good polo and a good golf hat, and you got to get. We know you love tees, and you didn't know they were free on the golf course. Would you buy?
I would buy some souvenirs for like friends from here.
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah.
Okay. I spent a lot of time this morning in the pro shop,
Fair.
Fair wager.
and TJ has a gift card tomorrow that I think we're trying to
We're
do
trying
some
to get through. We're trying to
damage
get through.
on.
Yeah, we're trying to do some damage on it.
What?
Write whatever you want in the comments, and I'll drive back out and buy it for you if you want to comment on this. Top vote.
Top vote gets it.
Seriously, I'll figure it out.
So am I not spending some of your gift card money tomorrow?
You are.
I totally
Because I was gonna say I have 100 queued up to spend tomorrow.
Okay.
I forgot about the gift card money after I purchased that pin flag.
Yeah.
I
And
tried
he brought that up at dinner. He's like, "No, we're coming back tomorrow." I was like, "I just want to get out of the way." And then he brought it up at dinner. I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah.
I saw some polos in there that were pretty sick, and then I saw the stamping as well. And then this is a nice touch that like Goat Hill has dog collars and stuff, that I thought were like really cool. Like, I'd love to get a dog collar from Goat. So I was looking for like ever since then I've been like, what does something have that I haven't seen at some other courses, right? Because everyone's got your gloves, your balls, your
Bags,
bags,
socks.
everything else.
Yeah.
They had sunglasses.
What?
I had not.
With a logo on it.
Yes, I hadn't seen that in most pro shops,
I've never seen pro shops that have sunglasses.
and I liked them. I mean, I had some knockarounds today that were actually pretty slick, and I think I was pulling off.
Shout out knock around.
So it could be the case. But anyways, I'm a pass.
So you passed.
Passed
You
it.
you passed. I'm a pass. I'll make this brief since it doesn't necessarily matter. I think the logo is good, not great, but it's good, and it is off enough of the beaten path where you want to let people know
That you were here.
you're the track out here.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And people recognize the logo out here. I remember playing with Cam when we played Corey Pines with Cam, and Cam was all about the Goat Hill logo. And I said, "Oh,
Rams or goat?
Rams." When we played Corey Pines with.
Yeah, you said goat though.
That's what I'm trying to correct.
Okay, sorry.
It's been a long day. I don't know if you hear my voice from the start of this podcast. I'm losing my voice. Yeah, we're making it there, big fella.
You call me anything you want. You call me that.
What's that from?
It's an Instagram video, Thomas.
Sorry, I'm not a big social media guy.
Either way, I feel like coming out here and having something with the logo on it holds a little bit of place of saying, hey, I drove out there and I played that course and I made the trek to get out there. And I said, hey, I'm going to go play that course. And it's a nice fucking course. And I wanted to make sure that I bought something from that course, whether you spent $100 on a head cover or you spent $100 on a ball marker and a hat, t-shirt, or whatever. I think people want to buy something from out here to let other people know that they came out.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. So 4 for 4 here. Strong start for Rams. Question 5 here. I'm the tiebreaker. The buzzworthy test. Are there multiple holes worth talking about? Does this course have more than one hole that a group would want to immediately go play again? Now, in this case, we're in person. I'd like to hear from you which 2 holes you would want to go play again.
Okay.
You can just describe them. Describe them if you want to. but-
Right off the bat, number 14, Kevin and I had the longest drive of the year for any golfer. Mine was like 360. Kevin's was
Who
370.
can say? But
I
yeah.
had 50 in to the green, and I bogeyed it
Yeah.
because the greens are
So
tough.
you want to go play
I
that.
wanted to leave it short, and I chunked it, and then my third shot, I put it past, and I was coming down.
Mm-hmm.
That hole, I'm looking forward to playing tomorrow, but the wind was in our favor on that hole. That's the other thing. Like a lot of the holes that you could go after today, the wind was in our favor on the par fives and the par fours
Yeah, it was.
that are drivable. The wind was in our backs, which made it fucking awesome. Like
I don't know if this is the second hole you're going to say, but the par 3 we set up the H cam on, I want that back so bad.
I don't want to fucking par three.
I think you're talking
The one with the
about
ladder?
10.
It was right after the turn.
Oh, with the green.
Yeah.
It was like 130 yards. It was like nice and cute.
Yes.
Down
I
The
want that
wind
back.
made that hole, I think.
Yeah, because it was like 175-ish.
it was like 130, 140.
I know what you're saying.
Number 10.
I don't know if I'm talking about 10 or not. It's the one that like I was standing behind the bush filming TJ, and then it was
It's
downhill.
It's 9. It's 9, not 10. 10 was the one who had all the golf balls laying out. It was 9.
Number 9.
I want 9 back. I want that back. So, yeah.
9 was playing 126. I think when we measured it, it was 133.
We all hit like pitching wedge on that hole, and we all would love to not chunk a pitching wedge on that hole.
TJ, I want you to start on this. Are you a fail or
I'm going to be honest. If it was not today and we had not played that hole no less than 4 hours ago, I think that this course is a fail on the buzzword.
you wouldn't remember which holes or any of those?
Yeah. I think when you and I talk about this, and you and I are Phoenician golfers through and through, not Phoenician the golf course, Phoenician as Phoenix.
You claim to be both here,
I
which,
keep
by the way,
thinking-
you got to choose one.
Yeah,
Bro,
bro.
I
How
spent-
long have you been in San Diego now? You got to claim one.
You got to claim. I want a flag right
We
now.
need to do it
Where are you
right
putting
now.
it in?
This is now or never. Which is it going to be?
Oh,
Guys, I can't. I
I can see the dilemma.
I love my San Diego born and raised fiance, but guys, I can't do this.
How long have you lived in San Diego?
4 years.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're
I
not there
lived
yet.
34 years in Arizona.
You're not there yet.
Mm.
You'll get
I
there.
but I've played a lot of golf. I've played a lot of golf in both. That's the real hard problem.
So you claiming as a Phoenician or as a San Diegan right
As a Phoenician, I don't remember any of these holes.
now?
Like it's Rev. I swear on my life, I would swear up and down.
Rev, as a Phoenician, I would swear up and down to you and Surreal right now that none of these holes that we played today ain't shit compared to what we play in Arizona.
Aggressive.
Rev, I'm not fucking with you. This isn't beer. This isn't whiskey. These are normal holes in Arizona.
Yes. As a
Only
San Diego.
anyone in California who hasn't experienced a course like
Guys, this
Thank
is
you.
my podcast. I can say what I am one half marriage. This is my
Okay.
podcast.
What about this?
Go on.
I live in fucking Wisconsin, and I've never played San Diego or Phoenician. Whatever the fuck you
So
calling it.
we talk about this on the pod. If you are having people come visit from out of town,
I would bring them here.
would you bring them to some course, right? They come here, they can name at least 2 holes that they're like, oh my god, I would love to come back and play these 2 holes again.
How many times did I fucking turn around and say, like, God, this hole was fucking awesome, or God, I would love to do this hole again? At least like 8 or 7
Can you
times.
leave the mic between you and Kevin?
He ran over there.
The audio I'm gonna have to normalize on this podcast is insane.
It has to be important if he's fucking gripping it like that.
No. So what I will say is that regardless of where I live, if you are from the middle of America, you're gonna think a lot of these holes run together.
Run together. Okay, so you're a fail.
I'm a fail.
Okay, Kevin,
Can I just?
you're a pass. What are your 2 holes?
The one where we bombed it like 400 yards.
It gets bigger every time you guys talk about it.
By the time we leave tomorrow, it's going to be a 550 yard drive.
The one where I hit 570, I think that was a good hole.
There was another par 4 that we
TJ?
had where it was gettable.
And a cookie?
And a cookie, a beer, and a cookie.
Guys, I think I broke my.
Dude, that's what I was saying. What's that? There was another drivable par 4.
On the front or the back? Because there was like 3 on each. I was like, oh, this one is, oh, it was on the back. You hit
Where I was like, I put it like right in front of the green.
Yeah.
I want that. I don't open PJ. We got a live stream. Dude, so too.
That's true. We're doing a live stream later tonight.
What about that cookie?
All right, you're a pass. Sounds like.
Yes.
Okay. Are you a pass or a fail?
100% pass.
Okay, I'm a fail.
Oof.
And I'm the tiebreaker on this one.
God. I can't wait to go to a Phoenix and shit on it.
Love to have you guys.
Back on camera?
Fucking shithole.
Idiots.
The holes were fun, but they're like none of them were signature.
Yes.
They were all the same.
No, dude. No, Rev. This is not a unique golf course.
All right.
It's unique to San Diego, but it is not a unique
First,
golf course.
So it's not unique to somebody from Nebraska or Louisiana or Florida
Yes.
or Oklahoma.
100%.
PJ, right?
Surreal, if we went out and played Southern Dunes tomorrow, you'd be like, "Oh, this reminds me of Rams Hill."
So it's,
That's what I
but
said
it's,
earlier
it's
today.
not unique to people from like Nebraska or Oklahoma or Louisiana. Like, because you're only considering California versus Phoenix.
No, I'm considering where you can go.
let's move on. Okay, first blemish. Yeah. 4 for 5. Question 6. Yeah. The glizzy test. TJ's tiebreaker here. Does this course have good food at the turn? Are you eating here or packing your own snacks? Why don't the glizzy boys go first?
The guests.
Oh, Glizzy boys. Oh,
No, I mean the hat.
Okay, that makes sense.
The Gleazy boys.
So I will say this: I'm not really much of an eater. Just kidding.
Big guy of
Literally, what you just said on the podcast made this my favorite podcast ever. That comment alone.
Listen. So the first time we got tacos, I totally forgot to look at the other food menu because I was so distracted by the free fucking tacos.
Free food.
So I got a drink, I got free tacos, and she's like, "Do you want me to add all this stuff, dude?" I was like, "Yes."
Truly
do.
one of those my eyes are up here kind of situation.
Yes, but more toward the food, not
yeah,
her.
yeah.
Melissa, I love you. So, and then when we came back the second time, I was like, wait a minute. I actually need to see what, if these free tacos weren't here, what would be available to the big fella. And there was some pretty good snacks on a roster that I would eat daily. The Rams Hill dog.
Yeah.
Beef jerky.
Yeah.
Candy bars. Pretzels. Uncrustable.
That's good.
Go on.
Yeah.
Go on, gig.
Chips.
And tacos.
Protein bar. And free tacos.
Yeah,
Not to mention they had a full bar at the turn.
they did.
They had every option of water drink. They had beer. They had sodas. They had
Full liquor.
above room temperature water that you need to get ice first before you get the water. TJ
Yeah.
made that very clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pro move. Get the ice first.
So you're a
Then
pass.
Oh my god.
I'm
I can't wait to go back there tomorrow. I think tomorrow when I go back there, I'm gonna take a different hat. So when I get my 2 tacos, I'm gonna go to the cart and change my hat. And then I'll be like, yo, can I get 2 more tacos? And try to confuse her.
Rev, I don't think that they would be mad if you asked for multiple tacos anyway.
also that would not confuse her.
You don't think
I think Melissa goes, this is that same guy.
You might be a little unique looking, if I'm putting it nicely.
oh,
Yeah, no, it's because of your biceps.
Oh.
It's the tattoos, actually, is what it is.
unique North. Or maybe I'll wear a polo and underneath it I wear something different, like tighter. Or just say like a page.
Like a page, maybe Spearneck outfit.
Like a page panoramic onesie.
Surreal. What are your thoughts here on the glizzy test?
All right. The free tacos are sick, right?
Of course.
Being from Southern California, I think we can all agree those tacos are like they don't compare to like real.
Are they mid?
tacos?
Are they mid?
Compared to like LA tacos or San Diego tacos? But they're free,
But they're
which
free.
is a plus. This is the glizzy test. They didn't even have hot dogs available for us today.
She said it wasn't available. Yeah.
So
Wasn't it? They were out.
What about if we
So-
plug in tomorrow with a revisit?
So it's tough because the glizzy test is named glizzy test, but we're not necessarily judging hot dogs. We're judging
Damn.
we're judging the menu at the turn.
Okay.
Massey, I want to hear yours. It's real. What are you? Are you a pass or a fail?
You can also do a half point if you're on the fence.
a half
We
point?
got,
Don't-
we
don't
got
get mad.
half for the free tacos.
So we're at 1.5.
If they have hot dogs available tomorrow, I'll go to a full point.
Okay. Matt,
So we have to revisit this
Yeah.
score.
we're gonna splice it maybe with live footage from Surreal from the turn.
Okay. Agree with you on the tacos were mid or whatever we're saying. Yeah, I know you would have preferred an in and out.
Double, right?
didn't have tacos
Double.
But I'm gonna start by saying why I am a pass for the glizzy test. Okay, here's the first reason: free tacos. Now, if they had tacos at the turn, I had to pay for. Even with the tacos I got today, I'd still be like, tacos at the turn. How many courses do you know that have tacos at the turn?
Dude, huge plug for tacos.
And then I go,
At tacos at the turn.
Shout out my guy Nelson.
yeah. Then I go, oh, and they're free. That's a pass. That's easy as that.
And not only did you get it once, you got it twice.
Yes,
You got to
2
be-
passes.
You beat me to the extra pass. Was that you can stop and get tacos between 9 and 10,
Yeah.
And then
you can
14.
stop and get tacos between 14 and 15. So you don't have to eat lunch out here.
And
True.
they're not unpleasant about it. They're welcoming you. Like, you need tacos.
Yeah.
They weren't upset that
Shout out Melissa.
Shout out, Melissa.
Shout out Melissa.
Yeah.
They were not upset that we passed by twice. They were not upset that we asked for all the things. They
No.
were not upset that they had to come out of the little shack
No.
or help us or anything.
If you take anything away from this pod, give Renee and Melissa a raise.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. Screw Surreal's half point. This is a pass.
All
You should have passed.
right, so man, it's doing good here. It's 5 for 6. previous best scores go to 8 points, by the way. Okay, so just putting that out there. Question 7, the Marshall test.
Never heard of her.
Does this course have a decent pace of play? Can you rely on a quick round here if you have somewhere to be after? If you have somewhere to be after, where the hell are you going after?
If you have somewhere to be after, you're not going to go there because you're having such a good time taking.
No, you're not going to go there because you're an hour and a half away from wherever the fuck you're going.
Does that factor into this question?
No, it's the Marshall, not what do you have.
No, you have. If you have thought about it, you know that you are coming far out of the way. Right? You are not.
We've turned off 2.
2 hours.
There can only be one, and it's my phone.
That's fine. It's connected to it.
I know.
I'm going to leave this off, Massey.
Okay.
I'm going to say, from a pace of play standpoint, this is a pass.
Yes.
If we would have been on it, not letting a single or double through, not stopping and getting tacos, not playing a match, we probably could have played this round in 3.5 hours. If we wanted to, we could have been heads down, hammer it out, right? But we didn't. But on the same point of it, we didn't have to.
No one was on our ass.
We didn't feel like we had to play in 4 or 3.5.
Well, we let guys through, but that was because they were singles.
So it's a pass for me. But I know that you're the decider on this. That's why I want to lead off.
Kev?
Yeah, dude, we could have easily this in like 3.5 hours.
Why are you laughing so hard? Because of the moonshine?
No, I love TJ. Thank you for saying that we're going to finish this in 3.5 hours. If everybody was off the tee box,
Oh God!
I quit the podcast.
I'm kidding. This is a pass for sure.
My podcast.
You said it yourself. I'm kidding. It is a pass just because, like, the nonchalantness of it. You could play, like TJ said, you could play it fast, you could play it at your own pace. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The Marshall, do they have those?
Who?
Yeah, Marshall heard of her. So it may be different tomorrow or on the weekend.
Yeah.
But
asterisk, we did play in the afternoon on a Monday. Like 100%. Like there's no doubt about it that like we could have been in a very unique situation today.
so,
But I can't imagine that it's that wildly different to play on the weekends. In Borrego.
I'm
safe to say the time to play is a Monday between 11 and 5.
in June.
In June. Yeah.
I'm a pass as well. So that means this course is already a 6 for 7, and it's up for debate. Should it pass? No other question from here on out. So, question 8, the high handicapper test.
Here we go, boy.
Let me take the full mic here as the man who is a plus 20, not plus 20, the other side of it.
Plus 20.
No, plus 20. I don't know if Scotty's a plus 20.
This course is hard. This course is really hard. This course is only for the big boy.
It is just the big boy.
Maybe-
It's not an executive.
Not a lot of
It's not a
not a lot of
profit.
trees out there on the
Not a
course.
lot of trees.
Not a lot of trees, not a lot of safe haven, not a lot of place to spray it out.
But-
No one's gonna valet your ball to the green.
It's got to go get it. You got to be a big boy. You got to
You
pull
gotta-
it, and you got to do it on your own.
You gotta have to go get it. And if you're not getting it, you're gonna get fucked.
Even if you got 31,000 views at a hole, I feel like you'd still need a few
You
more
need
just to get there.
32 to get you to the hole, and that's why we're bringing in the blue flame. And if it ain't in, it ain't on you.
I'm gonna be honest. Whatever you guys say, this should still fail because of how terrible of a time I had today.
Well, you're the tiebreaker,
So I'm a fail.
and I fail this right now too, so it's a fail officially. But I'd love to hear for posterity reasons what you guys think.
I think
Wait a minute, Kevin, real quick. I would like you felt it because it's hard.
because of how he shots.
Not
And-
because of how I just shot today.
I want to know why he failed it.
because I watched my high handicapper friend fail this
Okay.
course today.
Let's, hold on. Get Massey, give me a little space here, real quick.
Well, hold on. Look, before you do that, why? Okay, greens at 11 are already tough for a high handicapper.
100%.
Add to that undulation, right? And now you're talking about, oh, I might be poking out of the desert somewhere below. I got hills coming into this green, and it's rolling at 11. That's tough for someone that's above the hole. We talked about it. Don't be above the hole today.
Yeah.
And that was a tough scene. So even though he was off the tee, not great today, that doesn't mean necessarily that had he put it in the fairway that he would have had an easy time either, because you don't put this in the right spot on the green. You're not a guaranteed 2-putt anywhere.
But
from
how
the course.
high of a handicapper is if he's got an eagle putt?
Well, he said he's a plus 20, so he's pretty good. But no, he's a minus.
Plus 20.
He's a minus
Oh my god.
minus 24.
Think about this today, right? Every time I was in a bunker today,
He got out in one shot.
I got out in one.
And the other
But
thing,
how many times did I get out in one and still 3-putt?
yeah,
And not even have
pretty often. Also, here's the other thing I'll say: how often does the wind blow in Borrego Springs? My guess is pretty often.
every fucking day.
And the wind was not easy. The wind was not easy today.
Think about how many times I hit what was a very acceptable shot out of a bunker. And everyone said, oh, good out. And I was still left with what was a questionable 2-putt today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna put that on the fucking guy who's a single digit.
The guy that pushed us to 18.
I was gonna say how many birdies did you have today, but you also had one.
I had a birdie.
You and I had an equal amount of birdies today.
That's true.
Kevin had 2. My partner had 2.
That's what won you guys the match.
I had 1 birdie.
All right.
Fired up shot.
Posterity reasons.
Honestly,
Don't worry about offending me.
Before I answer, do you think if we weren't drinking today, you could have shot better?
Can I follow up that real quick? Can I follow this real quick?
Yeah.
Do you think, yes, if we weren't drinking and you would have stopped hitting driver so soon, it would have changed the outcome of your game?
A lot of ifs.
All right.
A lot of ifs.
If we weren't drinking, stop taking driver, took a couple lessons. No, if we weren't drinking.
It's tough because every time I feel like I took a 5-iron off the tee today, it still didn't feel great. So here's the thing is that every time I thought, oh, I'll hit a safe 5-iron off the tee, I would potentially think about walking out to the tee and hitting a 5-iron. And I said, oh no, if I hit a 5-iron off the tee, I'm going to have a 4-iron in. I hope the mic picked that up. We got
to keep going here. We're almost at a 2-hour mark here. So. I know. We're failing this one. That's officially.
This is a tough call.
Okay, so 6 for 8. Question 9, the vibes test. Is this course worth staying at post round? Do they have a good restaurant or patios?
Oof. Are you the tiebreaker or am I?
I'm the tiebreaker for the last 2.
This should be unanimous.
I'm a unanimous.
Based upon today?
Yeah, based on today.
Everyone want to say it on 3? 1, 2, 3. Fail.
Yeah.
You said pass.
You said pass?
Vibes guy, bro. That's
Yeah, but they shut
Yeah.
the restaurant down at 2:30.
Oh wait, we're talking about the course, not the. Okay, I love Jessica in town. 20
At
minutes
Carmelitas.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jessica at
But when we
Carmelitas.
got to the golf course and we were trying to make dinner reservations, and they're like, we close at 2:30. We were all like, "Fuck."
We had to
Yeah.
scramble to figure out what we were going to do for dinner.
Yeah.
I thought we
Yeah,
were going to be
that was
okay
not
having
the vibe.
dinner here.
The same thing that makes this a pass on the Marshall makes it a fail on vibes. There was
Yeah.
nobody here. It was
Absolutely.
dead.
It kind of
Absolutely.
shoots in the foot.
Yeah. So we are 6 for 9. So it is still up for debate. If it wants to be a true pass, it's got to pass this question 10, the dime a dozen test. Is this course unique to the area, or could you get this golf experience somewhere else on your trip or visit?
It is 100%. My bad.
This is you're the tiebreaker on this, right?
Is it us up?
Yeah, you guys all go.
So yes, because there's nothing like this anywhere
Within hundreds of miles.
proximity. Yes,
You have to drive 5 hours.
This is technically San Diego County. There's nothing
yeah. So I would say
Really, San Diego?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
No
You
shit.
pass the sign saying entering San Diego County as you come into Borrego Springs.
No shit.
Yeah.
so super unique.
So
for
you're
San
a
Diego
pass.
County. Yeah, it's super unique for
Yeah.
San Diego County.
You're a pass.
I think so.
For San Diego County, this is I just talked about it where it was like this isn't unique to Arizona and Phoenician golf, but like for San Diego, this is 100%. There's nowhere else that you play that's like this.
I agree. And we talked about how it's like PGA West, and PGA West from here is a drive. Like it's still over an hour to get to Palm Springs from here. So this area, like this is it. This is all you got. So it's the definition of unique to the area.
I will say I didn't realize. I always thought for some reason it was farther, but knowing that it's just like 35 or 40 minutes from Julian and I live down south, it's not that bad of a trip.
Yeah.
It's weird because I live North County and you live almost at the border, and it's almost the same exact time for you and me to get out all the way out to here. Like it's weird because
You just take the 8 out and then
Yeah,
just,
from Otay,
Yeah.
125 to 8. Yep.
so it's officially a 7 out of 10, which means it is a must play.
the sticker goes up in the garage.
Yes.
So Rams, we're here another day. There might be a sticker if you're willing to accept it out on the Pro Shop, but also here.
We're gonna put it up in the garage. It's gonna go up next to all the other brands that we've seen out. If you come out on the house on the hill and you hit it in the sim in the garage, you're gonna see a must play sticker up
If
there.
we're about to go live, I need to start charging my phone.
Before you leave, though, thank you guys for joining us. Your second time back, Kev. It was an absolute pleasure. Anything besides us going live later tonight that we have to look forward to? I know you have a tournament coming up.
Oh, LA City tournament. If I don't win, I'm deleting my page.
You heard it here first.
18,000 followers gone, erased. Like
Yeah.
LA City tournament. Yeah, that is what I have on the schedule for now, unless I somehow get to a 4 handicap before July, then I can play in the San Diego City tournament. But that's their max cutoff.
you have to get to a 4 to play in San Diego. Look, if you're listening to this podcast and you don't follow Surreal Golf, this man drops nugs. He doesn't churn out a ton of content, but on a good cadence that you drop nothing but nugs. Everything this man puts out is great content. Like everything he puts out, I'm like,
I mean, people copy him.
man, I wish seriously though, I wish I could sit on this type of content and say, oh, like whenever I feel like I have a good idea, I'm like, put that out before somebody else takes that idea. This man sits on it, masters on it, and he makes sure that it's perfect. So go follow Surreal Golf if you're not following Surreal Golf.
Anything else? Anything else?
That's Rev Mac too.
Okay, Rev, what do you got coming up? Speak.
I just want to say, guys, it is a no.
Please.
I got nothing. I got nothing. I'm just gonna keep doing my thing. Nothing really big planned coming up. Maybe some collabs with Surreal with the Fair Wagers. Got some stuff coming up with Link Soul. It's gonna be pretty cool. Other than that, just gonna keep rocking out, pumping some content, playing some golf. Nothing really on the radar. Just gonna vibe out.
I like that. Before I have TJ play us out, I just want to say I want to do more in-person pods. This was an absolute blast.
Yeah.
And for all of those who stuck around with us, I actually would love to do more in-person podcasts with some of our listeners. So maybe there's a future where we do something like this. But TJ, please play us out.
Yeah, if you are happening to listen on YouTube or you're watching on YouTube, hit us with the 3. Hit us with a like. Hit us with a subscribe. Slam that bell for a notification. If you're on Spotify, Apple Music, make sure you subscribe. Make sure that you rate the podcast. Hit us with 5 stars. If you think this was a podcast with a 4-star, also tell us that. Either way, we still love it. But if you are also a person who wants to see us do more live in person, you happen to be in Phoenix or in San Diego, let us know. Drop a comment. Let us know. We encourage you come out to Rams Hill, evaluate the course on your own. Our rating is not the end all be all. Let us know. Let us know if you think it's what we rated as 7 out of 10. It's a must play. There's going to be a sticker here on the house in the hill. Come on, find the sticker, take a picture, let us know. Come out and rate us. Tell them what it is. Massey?
Well, oh, you want me to? First of all, this will be coming out in June, and I just want to say that TJ and I, you guys haven't heard this yet, are going to be officially starting to release a pod almost every week here because we've been going bi-weekly up until this point. So we're going to start hitting you guys with a level select, a bonus round, and a must play every month.
Yep. At least three
a month. What? So we might have you guys on again here soon. We have a couple fun ideas set up for bonus round. But thank you everyone for joining Must Play, and I can't wait to do one of these again. But everyone who's stuck around with us, if you're listening to this at night, have a good night. Thank you, Kev. Thank you, Rev. And we'll see you guys soon. You're on Must Play.
Boys. Yes. See us on the live stream. All right. Moving the camera.